Okay, so I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to all my panelists for this morning's panel discussion with CADD Emirates. My name's Morad Qutqut. I'm the editor of Computer News Middle East, and I'll be the moderator for today's discussion. I'd now like to introduce our esteemed panelists for today's session, who include Stanley Harish, Enterprise Solutions Architect at CADD Emirates, Noel, Aloysious, Solution Architect at CADD Emirates, Morad Qutqut, Chief Customer Innovation Officer at HPE, and Kshitij, Saxena, GreenLake Channel Sales for the Middle East, Saudi Arabia and South Africa. As I already said, thanks a million guys for participating in the panel discussion. I'm sure we're going to have a really good conversation. So we're going to touch on a number of topics during the panel discussion, such as digital transformation and the role it has played during COVID-19 and its definition. We're going to take a closer look at some cutting edge solutions from HPE that are really solving a lot of problems for a lot of enterprise customers in the IT industry. And then we're going to look a little bit closer at the relationship between CADD, HPE, and the value add that CADD brings as a leading systems integrator in the region. So just to kick things off, we're going to start on digital transformation. Now, in my job, I've been talking about digital transformation for the last couple of years, and we all know it's been accelerated by COVID-19, but I spoke to a lot of people who believe that the term has been used and abused a little bit, because some people improve an application and they call it digital transformation, but that's not really digital transformation in the sense. So what I'd like to know from you, Stanley, is what is your definition of digital transformation, and what are the characteristics that define it?
Yeah. So, Mark, digital transformation now is like the entire world talks on the digital transformation. But is everybody adapted to digital transformation? Is no, they have not adapted to digital transformation. So digital transformation, digital means it's a synonym for a pace of change driven by a rapid adaptation of technology. And then the transformation emphasizes on how an organization must be built to change and innovate, rather support simply as the way it goes. So specifically to mention what is a digital transformation, it's a process of integrating digital technologies into the all aspect of the business, requiring fundamental changes in technology. We talk about culture, the operations, value, and then delivery. So mainly is like we deliberately reposition organization, digital economy to create new business models and culture that leverages digital technologies both to improve the customer experience and also to create new ways for customers to engage with the business however and then wherever they like to. So when we get into digital transformation more in depth, so we see that the technologies which are used by the users are still, it's an old technology where they have to shift as well, the old technology. Because right now we have focus on edge to the enterprise, and then there are like more agile data centers to support that edge. And also like customers need to share the legacy technology. That may be why we're talking about sharing the technologies, because maintaining the sharing technology is like more costly than the new ones. Okay. And also the culture and it supports acceleration that comes with digital transformation. Okay. And also to be this one, why do we need digital transformation? Because every small company from an SME till the enterprise, they talk on the digital transformation market. But do we really know that why we need a digital transformation? One of the key aspects is like it improves your process because it allows new technologies, allow business to automate simpler process and cut down on the intermediates in more complex processes. So this makes the business more agile and allows them to use their human capital in more effective ways. And also the other thing is like it finds new revenue streams as well. So that's like profitable avenues that may not have been open to business when they were first established, maybe open via new emerging technologies. And also the other one is like create more personalized and then engaging customer experience. Okay, that like today customer have to expect business to listen to them and meet their specific needs. And the technology has evolved to fit their every business. Okay, the examples of this is like earlier days, a phone which we used to have is like a normal Java phones. Okay, now we use a smartphones. Okay, the smartphones, we sit in a place and we can do everything. For example, for that is like e-commerce as well. So e-commerce, The shopping used to be always shopping, which we used to go to malls and the other places. Now we sit at home, we do. So this is how the technology is evolved, and then this is the digital transformation, what everybody is expecting. But on the other aspect, what we don't look at it is like people tell on digital transformation, but they are not ready to face the challenges what they get when they try to adapt to the digital transformation technology. Because most of them, what they rely on digital transformation is just by moving everything to an online or a website. They think that's a digital. No, that's not a digital transformation. Digital transformation requires something, which they have to build blocks, they have to get a customer engagement, and then they have to do the data analytics, they have to create customer relationship management, and also they have to do the emerging technologies, because all these are driven by a data driven. Because the more number of data you input, so that's when you get the results out of it. And you need to have a proper roadmap to get transformed from your normal way of thinking and then getting into innovative way of digitalizing your business and to get the outcome of it.
Yeah.
So all the all the other things, we also we have some things on the digital transformation. As I said, challenges what most of them they face is like lack of confidence they have when they're moving out to digital transformation, because they don't have a proper strategy, and also they don't have a proper required skill sets. And if we see now, almost like 40%, 40 to 45% of the companies, they get into a digital transformation, but the failure rates are very high because they try to get everything into one. Okay, so digital transformation is not in that way. You need to properly strategize and then plan. You need to have a game plan to get into a digital transformation mode, and then also to get your business completely digitalized.
Yeah. No, look, I think that's a great answer, and I think a comprehensive overview on what you believe is the definition of digital transformation. I think you also highlighted a very important point as well about some companies need a proper strategy in order to be able to execute digital transformation. You need to have a roadmap, and you need to know what you're doing. So that tees me up well for my next question, because obviously, Noel, in relation to COVID-19, especially in this region, we've seen a massive, increase in digital transformation projects, with a lot of large organizations surprisingly sort of scrambling around to sort of keep the lights on and maintain business continuity. So we've seen a huge increase in digital transformation. But what I want to know is, do you think there's going to be a paradigm shift in terms of the culture and the way organizations work, and in the way we work, where we work, how we work? What's your opinion? What do you think is going to be the impact of all this digital transformation during COVID-19?
So, Mark, just to give you, so when this situation happened, many of the organizations were in a traditional kind of, using a traditional kind of system. I would say it was more a server client of architecture, other than the emails what we speak about. Now, the VPN or the remote connectivity was only given to certain IT users or IT support users. Now, by leveraging the VPN connectivity for the entire organization, this has become a bottleneck. Now, that's where IT has to evolve, or IT has to look for different work culture in a collaborative way. Now, when I say in a different way, be a paperless, contactless, so all these elements, because now everyone is fear of this situation.
Yeah.
When we overlook, there are certain aspects which have brought to everyone's mind as IT industry as well as the company organization. Availability and uptime, that is one of the key factor. Secondly, how to give a remote access to users. Secondly, whether all the applications can be published. The other factor is the security. Security is one of the key elements for every organization, because as we see around the globe, that everyone has been attacked either by ransomware or other kind of threats. Now, backup is one of the component as well. And the last one is the predictive analysis or the remediation. Now, considering all this enterprise, so they have a all-in-one box solution which can cater either with their SMB or with citric centers, considering the WAN acceleration, the multi-factor authentication. So everything is bundled together. Now, in addition to that, HP have also introduced a consumption model for the customers, where customer can start going with the OpEx model, because everyone, the business have slowed down for certain verticals, I would say, mostly into the hotels and the construction sites, when you speak about this region. So to give a breathing space to them, HP has come up with a consumption model, which is GreenLake. I believe that will be more covered by Mr. Saxena. HP has also given, who were looking for an OpEx CapEx model, there is a financial service which HP have given, and this all need to be validated based on the customer environment. In addition to that, I mean, I would like to bring one use case, like where most of the hospitals, now the current situation, hospital needs the patient affair data, which need to be given to the government, whether it is SEHA or Dubai Health Authority. So there is a place where process automation comes in place. Now the process automation is also one of the key element where it collects the patient's affair data and it gives information to the government authorities of the exact number of patients who have been infected and the end results. Now, I believe the current situation, we all know it is very challenging, but from an HP point of offering, there are multiple ways of which we can bring up the customer and overcome the situation more into a digital transformation. I think, Stanley, you would like to add any other points?
Yeah, on this point, if we talk about the solution for the COVID-19 situation, so we have most solutions which are come up with HP. For example, we have the remote solutions, which we namely talk about the VDIs, which we have got the VDI solutions to meet any customer challenges needs. And also we have seamless remote connectivity solutions. So that's from the other side of the business. So that's the networking side of the business we have. And also we have a solution that would meet. And also we have the GreenLake models as well, which Kshitij is going to talk more on that. And then we have adaptive remote management solutions. For example, now the main concept is like people are working from home, and then HP, and then from the CADD Emirates, we procure the HP VDI solution and give it. But what about the IT maintenance, the IT admins? For that also we have solutions which we provide from HPE for this.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Stanley, and Noel, thanks a million for your contributions as well. Morad, is there anything you want to add on what the guys have touched upon there in relation to digital transformation?
Yeah, just to 2 points I have in mind, just to add to the excellent speeches that was provided by Stanley and Noel. For digital transformation, we can look at it from different stacks and different levels. The ultimate goal is to have a new business models. And this is the main goal of digital transformation. So it's a new way to interact with customers, with markets, and generating new services that will lead to new revenue streams in a more efficient way and increase the revenue for our organizations or the company organization. This is the ultimate goal. But to achieve that, we need to look at adapting new technologies. But it's not just for the sake to get or adapt to these new technologies. We look at blockchain, cloud, big data, AI. All of these technologies need to link directly with the business challenges or business goals. Without this, most of these digital transformation projects are failing because of that main reason. There is no direct link between what the company is heading off, what is the direction that we want to achieve, and the different technologies that need to be adapted. So technology, then we need to think about new operational models within the organization itself, how digitizing services can help to do things in a faster way, much better efficiency, lowering the cost, which will lead by default to a new business models. Where to start? Of course, the more you go up in the stack, the better and the quicker results that you will get. So if you start by new business models, everything will get inherited and If you start from the other angle where you start discussing technologies, you are making life difficult, to justify investment and getting some technologies for what, to prove what, and to achieve what. It will become more difficult. So the upper you start, the better and the quicker results that you will get. This is one point. The second point related to the COVID-19, it was another proof point why digital transformation is a must nowadays, and there is no question about shall we pursue that direction or not. It's a must and it's a mandate, and organizations or companies who were lacking in that transformation, they failed. Simply they failed. They could not do anything. An organization where they did and they are advancing that journey, they managed to proceed without a problem. Of course, some minor problems here and there, but overall, they managed to sustain the operational part. In HPE, we understand all of that, and we got to the market, to our customers, with a lot of hands to support them and to help them during this difficult situation. Starting from financial aids, offering GreenLake, consume now and pay later, a lot of advanced financial support that we provided for organizations to adapt new technologies and support them to run their operation and their businesses. Technologies like the VDI, remote workers support, virtual remote guidance. Beside all of this, I think you heard about the Digital Live Garage, the big program that we initiated globally and starting from Dubai. The main ultimate goal of that garage is to support society with whatever challenges or aspirations we have or we are living in. That's why, based on this understanding, we start looking at how we can help, how we can be with more support. And one of the main things that we found most of our customers would like to achieve is to expedite the return to work for their employees. So, but at the same time, they need to fulfill the guidance of the country. A new health regulations is there, a mandate to follow, like social distancing, wearing mask, avoiding sick people to come to the site or to work. So we understand that, and we leverage AI to build a solution that use video analytics that can be implemented within any firm, any company, site, malls, airports, schools, maybe. Just think about all of this, using or leveraging the CCTV solutions that's available there, adding a layer on top of that, which is the AI mainly, to do all of these analytics automatically and notify operators or security guys that there is a breach happening. Maybe somebody is coughing, sneezing, a high temperature or fever coming on site. So we are ready with that solution, and we start the outreach for the whole customers.
Brilliant, Morad. I think that's a great contribution there from you. I think you complemented what Stanley and Noel had said earlier. So before I speak to you about ML ops, I'd like to bring Kshitij in. Just Kshitij, I don't know if you have anything to add on before we move off the topic of digital transformation, if you've got anything to share in terms of your opinions on digital transformation and the role it's played in COVID-19 and you know, the impact of that looking forward.
So Mark, I think the points were very well covered by well, it pretty much sums up the situation that we are seeing. Nobody expected this. Nobody saw this coming. But what's happened more so today is that the traditional way in which we used to operate has gone out of the way. IT and business alignment has become almost close to essential. It has to go hand in hand. It cannot go separate. It's hard to predict where the market dynamic is actually taking us. When would we be a couple of months down the line? But IT needs to respond as quickly as possible to any business requirement. And at the same time, this is probably that time when we should be relooking at how we approach business altogether. How do we improve agility? How do we optimize costs? How do we ensure IT resources are available within minutes and not having to wait weeks or months for it? All of that is now become the talk of the hour. At the same time, when you look at providing at-home employee experiences or ensuring that a hybrid and multi-cloud extensions are actually available as and when needed, it also opens us up to a lot of threats and a lot of attacks, as was mentioned on this one. And how do we safeguard ourselves as an organization and keep ourselves going? So that's a part of the transformation journey as well. And if you look at it, it's also become an opportunity for organizations to rethink some of their security, some of their controls, some of the ways in which they were approaching business, and what are possibly the new sources of income and new sources of customer opportunities in a time like this.
Yeah.
And I think when we get into the topic of GreenLake, I'm going to cover how this model has actually been around for almost a decade. But only in the last couple of years, we've seen a huge spike around interest around the model, specifically turning around to getting up to situations like this. And it kind of talks more about technology, people, economics, all of them put together into one single day. So I'll touch on that, but I think it's a good start. And those discussions that we are having today are discussions that for some organizations have actually been coming for over a year and a half, without anybody really knowing where we were going with this situation coming out of nowhere. But it's been coming. It's been coming for organizations that have been transforming, organizations that have been looking up towards